let's get into wealth management, or what we call personal finance, which was in today's economy by small and medium enterprises, requiring retooling the entrepreneurs and business owners from time to time. So the UBA Group Business Series Season 2, held today at its headquarters in Lagos and online, featured asset management professional and a tech entertainment personality. I also joined in on the panel to share a few thoughts on how to mind your money and adapt to emerging intra-Africa trade, finance, and investment. Let's take a listen.
What is your opinion on building personal wealth?
So building personal wealth basically means that you're looking at investing for the future and ensuring that your future is protected. So you want to get to a point in your life where you don't have to think about money, and I'm sure many of us will want to, achieve that in our lifetime. Get to a point where you are self-independent, you are financially independent. The income that you are getting is not as a result of the work that you're doing. So more like your money working for you, and then you have to do whatever it is that you have to do without having to exert so much energy. So building personal wealth to a large extent is having to be financially independent, having to get to a state in your life where you don't have to work for money, but you're also not concerned or worried about money because you've built enough assets over time.
The importance of personal finance and the importance of money and money management first comes from a mindset. It comes from a mentality. That mentality leads to an awareness. So what that awareness does is it then shows you that these are the tools available to you. And then when you get on that journey and start understanding that, this is an asset, this is a liability, these are the certain things I'm supposed to do to even just retain the money that I have, then over time you then get to the point, like Ojiri said, where your money starts, working for you, where you start building a base where, you can reach financial freedom, you can reach financial independence. And I think that is what we all want. We don't want to have to think about, money so much, but it's like training any muscle. You have to have mentality, you have to have that awareness, and, being on that journey is very rewarding, and it's incredible.
Value is not necessarily money or cash, but we can create a whole lot of value in the system where we work and live and beyond, and globally speaking. And those are very critical points. And then as we move on in this conversation, we'll see a lot of areas in which we can put money to use and certain habits that we need to work on as entrepreneurs, as owners of small and business enterprises here, and what are the trends globally speaking that can help us stay ahead, even though we're operating in a very tight, bit of a difficult local economy.
Can you explain the difference between investing in stocks, real estate, bonds, and the likes?
So the first point for people when you start earning money is setting aside something. So that's what you call savings. So you leave money in your bank account. You don't touch it. I'm sure there are people who have millions of naira in their bank account. That's savings or current, not touch. So that's just savings. That's really not investing. Now, investing is the next level, I would say the elder brother to savings. So now you are taking a step further to say, I want to maximize the return that I'm getting from setting aside a certain amount of money. So that's when you now begin to think of investing. Now, there are different outlets for investing. You talked about properties, you talked about stocks, bonds, and then mutual funds. So I'm going to just briefly talk about these 4 different outlets. So property, we all know real estate. But the question is, how many of us can save enough out of our salary to really say we want to buy real estate? So the beauty about real estate is that, yes, it's a good savings platform or investment platform. However, it's capital intensive. So it's not really the good starting point for somebody who, is just starting out in your career or business and then you want to start saving. So United Capital is a bouquet of financial services. We talked about the savings, we also talked about the investment. So on the investment side, we have products across Naira and across the foreign currency. We have mutual funds. We are really big on mutual funds because, mutual funds is a way to help people diversify. Now, people who invest directly in the equities market tend to probably have a small amount of money and then they invest in probably few securities. But from a mutual fund perspective, you're able to invest in a bouquet of stocks or investment opportunities.
When you start doing businesses, you need to begin to think, especially in this type of environment, what is the value creation? And that is why I will introduce two things. News. News is important. As much as we look at the environment and things seem not to be going wrong, I will tell you this is one you have the best of the opportunities in a country such as Nigeria. Watch what is in the news and avoid the noise. Now, sometimes noise looks like news, but they're not the same. When you watch the news and watch the big boys and big businesses where they're going, what are they talking about? Then you can see the areas in which you can diversify. For example, trade is where the world is going. UBA, for example, and I'm sitting down here in their building, so I'm going to make a little bit of a PR for them. UBA signed a very big deal, multi-billion dollars in Accra, I think a few months ago at the Afreximbank annual meetings with the Pan-African Settlement System with Afreximbank. That's onward lending to all their businesses across Africa. Now, how many of us in the audience are keen into trade finance right now, which is the biggest conversation, not just here, but for global trade around the world? We have a new trading platform that connects the Nigerian exchange with that of Ghana and that of Kenya. It's a new online trading platform called Second Stocks. Now, that allows you to trade stocks among these three exchanges across Africa, and you can take advantage of interest rate, exchange rates, price appreciation across borders. So if you own the shares of UBA Nigeria and you have UBA Ghana also on a stock exchange, and UBA Nigeria is trading at 17 Naira and UBA Ghana is trading at XY Ghanaian Cedi, then you can have both of the best of the two worlds, right? And you have a bigger conversation for 9 exchanges across Africa as we speak. So the idea of what Madam from Asset Managers from United Capital is able to provide you is what you can do across Africa and not just within Nigeria.
One thing you have to understand is that technology is just a tool, right? And the tool can be used for good and it can be used for bad, and it can go in both ways, right? I'll give an example of what I was saying earlier. So many tech companies in the past 2 years have literally let go of a huge part of their workforce. That's because of 2 reasons. One is the economic downturn that's happened recently, and second reason is because of the emergence of artificial intelligence, right? So that has, put a lot of people out of a job. In the same breath, I can tell you today that a lot of people are earning millions of naira, millions of dollars because of the jobs that artificial intelligence is creating for them and allowing them to do. Right, as I speak to you today, yesterday I was making a job description for a new role that I wanted to hire for. Right, all I needed to do was use artificial intelligence and say, "Hey guys, I'm looking for a trader. This, that," and literally the whole job description has just come out for me.
The financial services industry are making inroads already. They are opening the way. UBA is doing that. Everybody's doing that. United Capital is doing that. The company is paying dividend as well. They're making inroads. Those of you who are in the value chain of businesses and whatever should also see how you can position for what has come upon us, which is the trading within Africa and globally speaking. And Nigeria has enormous resources with which we can be ready for the opportunities. The banks, the financial industry is ready to help and help everybody move forward. But if we don't start taking those opportunities, the small and business enterprises are at the heart of intra-Africa trade, not the big multinationals. So you are the ones that they will key into to get raw materials, to get processes, and a whole lot of things done. So for those who want to do that right now, I think it is time to talk to professionals. It is time to get to know what is going on and see how you can be part of the game. The new game in town is global finance, global trade, and Africa trade.